No, you know what? No, I don't want to argue, okay?
No,
Look,
we are not arguing.
Shut up there. I'm trying to be nice to you. I've been getting some weird vibes off Victoria. It's kind of like a real dark energy that vibrates throughout my body.
First of all, Renee, you are the dark energy. Even the monkey knows that she is the dark energy.
Okay, monkey.
Unhand me, strange woman!
Awesome!
If there is one thing that we have already learned about Renee this season, it's that she is, well, she's insane. She's the crazy chicken lady that eats chicken. And I think at this point, while watching this season, only 6 episodes in, I'm just waiting for Chidi and his family to realize the same thing, and for them to get far away from her. I mean, they have gotten a little glimpse so far of Renee's crazy when she refused to let them buy a chicken to eat.
Kill that, I'm gonna become really pretty freaking violent.
At least Chidi's sister did. Renee said she would rather starve than eat that chicken, even though she eats prepackaged chicken in the US. But even though Victoria has expressed some concern over Renee, I think it has taken Chidi a little longer to realize how crazy this woman really is. He did see her get angry when he said that he was celibate and would not sleep with her, but her apology afterwards seemed to make him look past that.
I didn't mean to get a little angry at the market.
This is the first time for the 5 years Renee ever apologized to me.
It was not until they talked about his accident that made him blind that I think Chidi really grasped how off her rocker Renee really is. He had explained in an earlier episode that an apple had fallen out of a tree and hit him in one of his eyes. And because of that eye's impairment, he then later fell and damaged his other eye on a wooden bench.
I began struggling to see. The doctor, they told me I had a glaucoma.
Renee's response to this at first was, well, if I could pay for a surgery to fix your eyes, I would, because I love you. But then adds on this weird comment of, but also I don't think you are blind now for no reason.
What?
Like the whole thing is spiritually connected, because if you could see, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, Renee, that's one of those thoughts you keep to yourself. This guy did not have this accident to go through excruciating pain and lose his vision so that you guys could smash.
Do you believe that I was brought here by God himself as a miracle?
Yeah, I swear in this moment that he was like,
I've made a huge mistake.
but he's just too nice to say anything.
Sometimes it seems like he lives in alternate reality.
Even this monkey knows that she's nuts.
Mouth. He's a little fatty.
Oh.
But even though Renee seems to think that Chidi's blindness is somehow related to a weird spiritual thing she's made up in her head, she did decide to take Chidi to the eye doctor since he hadn't seen one in over 10 years. And he's hoping for some good news. Not sure if Renee really is, since her biggest turn on from him is the fact that he can't see, but she is saying that she would help him if there was a chance for him to see. But unfortunately, after a multitude of tests, there is not good news.
There is glaucoma signs.
The pressure in Chidi's eyes is high, and he has nerves that are not active. So this isn't some fix like cataracts where a surgery could quickly help him.
Chances of seeing again is lame.
And Chidi is disappointed. But Renee over here is not that upset by it.
So you'll never be able to see again? This life could be just as bright with me in it.
Girl, shut up. This guy has a disability that affects every part of his life. This is not about you. And now that they have explored options for Chidi, there is a harsh reality that Chidi will probably be blind for the rest of his life. And I think this coincides with the tension we see at this dinner. And before this, just to set this scene up, Renee has complained that she doesn't get a lot of privacy with Chidi, and she says that his family is always around. So her biggest complaint is that they don't get a lot of time one-on-one. And the fact that Chidi lives with and is taken care of by his sister and her husband, we know that that's not going to change anytime soon. I think that Renee wants to take over and take care of Chidi, but she is still really a stranger to Chidi's family. And yes, this guy is an adult in his 30s, but he is vulnerable. He can't see, and someone could really take advantage of him. So Renee has said she's had negative feelings about Chidi's sister, even before she actually met Victoria. Like, they hadn't even walked up the stairs all the way for her to meet his sister in person before Renee was expressing her negative feelings about meeting Victoria.
To be honest, I've always had a strange feeling about like meeting or being around like my man's sister.
Where does this feeling come from?
I don't know.
But on the other side of that, I think that since Renee has come to Nigeria, the Chidi's family has been as welcoming as possible. They have opened their home, gave her a room to stay in, and they've been helping her learn how to guide Chidi around. When Renee started to show her true colors in front of Victoria with this whole chicken scene, Victoria became worried about Renee's temper, which I mean, of course she would. And now I think that worry is carrying into the interactions between Renee and Victoria. But I think it's because Renee starts it.
I've been getting some weird vibes off Victoria. It's kind of like a real dark energy that vibrates throughout my body.
First of all, Renee, you are the dark energy. I think she's feeling insecure after her whole chicken meltdown. Because right before this, Victoria was nice to her and showed no signs of being upset.
All right.
Renee.
Hey.
Let's go.
I don't see any interactions being weird until Renee gets weird. Like, Renee was the one that was starting to act all squirrely first. And then if you make dinner for someone and they start acting all strange at your dinner table, I would also start to feel probably confused and annoyed. But even with that, all Victoria does is try to start a conversation.
So, what kind of soup do you cook? What kind of food do you eat?
We don't really cook, especially in the US. Everything's mostly like prepackaged, warm up.
Right. Don't forget that Renee only eats her chicken already killed and prepackaged. Can't forget that part. Also, I'm in the US and I cook pretty much every day. I don't microwave every single one of my meals, so I don't know what the heck she's talking about. This is when, though, you start to see a shift in attitude with Victoria. But I again feel like it's worry. These two are Chidi's primary caregivers. I think they have a right to worry about him, especially when you have this psycho across your table.
I tell him that I feel like we're soulmates. God ordained. God ordained.
Ordained.
Victoria then asks if Renee was saying this because something had happened between them physically, like intimacy-wise. And I would normally say, well, that's not her business, but I think she's concerned about someone taking advantage of Chidi, especially when he's stated that he is celibate. And that question just makes the tension with Renee spill over.
Why do you look so angry?
I'm not angry.
No, but I see you all the time, and I'm just saying, like, throughout this whole time, you've been looking real angry.
This woman opened her home, made a special dinner, and now she's getting asked why she's so angry. Say thank you for the food and shut it.
Arzana Nicole, have a poem for you. Roses are red, Kimberly is crazy. Subscribe to the Kiblz channel.
Almost too lazy. Oh my gosh, lazy. Renee is deeply insecure and she always feels everyone is up against her. But the way she talked to my sister is alarming to me.
And then she completely shuts down after that. She says that her gut feeling about his sister was right, and now she doesn't even want to stay at their house anymore.
I'm gonna talk to him about getting a hotel room.
She ends up meeting with Chidi later and apologizing, but I mean, she owes Victoria the apology. So I think she's just using this as a segue into asking him to stay with her at a hotel, to which he says no as gently as possible, with his reasoning being that he wants to stay celibate.
I don't want to argue, okay?
No,
Look,
we are not arguing.
shut up there. I'm trying to be nice to you.
If I was Victoria, I would worry about Chidi staying in a hotel room alone with this woman.
I want to promise on your entire life, I'm not gonna touch you in any sexual way.
The answer was no, Renee. Not, oh, don't worry, I won't touch you, and then try to guilt trip the guy into going to the hotel with you anyways. This face that Victoria was making at the end of the dinner was spot on. I don't think Renee should be left alone with this guy at all.
We are
Do
not
you care
spiritual
more about what
beings.
people think?
No, it's not.
Hey!
She's like already putting her finger in his face. He can't see it. And then she's like doing these air quotes. He can't freaking see them. But he can feel her temper rising and he gets overwhelmed. I mean, I can't blame him. I am getting Angela vibes from this woman.
I don't know what to do.
I'm actually glad that her true crazy is coming out now and she didn't just hide it this whole trip, because on the next episode, it looks like she's really gotten to the point where she just completely loses it. She is sitting on her suitcase, so I'm guessing she goes back to the house and tells Chidi to come with her to the hotel, and Victoria and her husband probably said not to go.
I'm done.
I hope this is the end for them, because this guy needs to get very far away from Renee. And I'm really glad that his family has been around to help show how she really is. I do also think that all of this backlash she's getting for how she's acted on the show so far is making her just talk on Instagram, saying whatever she can to try to make herself feel better. This whole Before the 90 Days cast really said F you to the NDA. She was saying stuff within the first few episodes. She's now saying that she sent Chidi and his family money. I kind of assumed that since Victoria had said in another post that Renee had bought Chidi a phone. Now I'm thinking we're just going to start hearing more and more too. Because this scene of her storming out with her luggage, I think is going to be the very end for them. I can't imagine insulting Chidi's sister and then storming out will result in Chidi agreeing to go to the hotel with her. I also cannot believe how unhinged Renee acted with Chidi's family and how she's going to react, it looks like, on the next episode. I can see why Victoria has been talking about Renee outside of the show after all of this. So do you think that this is it? Renee storming out as the end of the chicken lady on our screens? I think it might be. I said in my last video that I think some couple is on their way out because they are bringing out another couple next week, but Renee is so crazy that I would not be surprised if they brought her back for another show or season. Thanks for watching. Bye!